Hi guys, I'm Karen from Makeup and Beauty Blog, and today I've got the new Urban Decay Gwen Stefani eyeshadow palette. This is brand spanking new, and it's going to be launching November 22nd online at urbandecay.com and at Urban Decay stores and at Sephora, Ulta, and select Macy's. I've been so excited about this. This is $58, and inside, let me just show you real quick. Well, first here's the packaging, and then inside we've got a big old mirror and 15 eyeshadows. Dun, dun, dun. Aren't they pretty? Now, who is Gwen Stefani, if you don't know? As if you didn't know. She's only the woman who I wanted to be in like 1995. I think it's a phase that all girls go through, like wanting a pony or wanting to be a photographer. I mean, she's awesome. She is the lead singer of the pop group No Doubt. She also went on to having a very successful solo career, and then she's like design clothes and bags and shoes. I have a pair of her lamb shoes and they are this tall and I can barely walk in them, but I absolutely love them. But yeah, she has this really unique sort of like punk rock girl slash SoCal surfer style, and I've always admired her. I don't know how she carries herself and her style, and I just think that she seems like a cool gal. Anyways, she teamed up with Urban Decay to create this palette, and she had a lot of control apparently over everything from like the packaging to the colors. And basically what she did was she created a palette with all of the colors that she wished she had in her eyeshadow collection. So yeah, we've got 15 shades here, and 12 of them are completely new and 3 of them are Gwen's favorites from the line. So I'm gonna show you some swatches here on the back of my hand, but I'll also have swatches on the blog, and more pics on the blog, so if you wanna head on over there to check those out, please do. I'm gonna start here in the first row, and these are the new shades. Starting here on this side, we've got Blonde, a pale beige with pink iridescent shift. Bathwater, a pale beige with golden pearl. Steady, a medium rose with metallic gold shift. Punk, a matte reddish brown, and Baby, a metallic cool rose. In the middle row, I've got more new shades. Anaheim, a matte light taupe brown. Zone, a matte medium brown. Sirius, a smoky gray with iridescent pearl. Pop, a pale coral with iridescent sparkle. Harajuku, a metallic blue pink with iridescent micro sparkle. Danger, a deep metallic royal blue with blue micro sparkle. 1987. A bright metallic yellow gold. Then on the bottom, I've got the 3 re-promoted shades. Skimp, a pale nude satin. Stark, a nude pink matte. And Blackout, a matte black. Now on my lids, I'm wearing Anaheim, Zone, and Punk in the crease. And I've got Punk smudged out along the lower lash line. And I have Steady on the lids. And then the liner is Blackout applied with a wet eyeliner brush. So when I look at these shades, I can definitely see so much Gwen Stefani makeup style happening. Like when you typically see her like on the red carpet or in magazines or like even on The Voice as a coach, she'll be wearing like a neutral sort of lid with a little bit of definition, bam winged liner, and like a red or some kind of a bright pink, like a bold sort of lip. And you get a lot of that in this palette because there's so many neutrals. Sometimes you'll also see her, by the way, in a smoky eye, and she'll have like touches of blue or gray or gold, and you get that as well. So as you can see, the majority of the shades here are neutrals. So if you were, I don't know, hoping for a more punchy and a more like bright palette, and if you're like more of an Urban Decay sort of Vice or an Urban Decay Spectrum kind of girl where you're all about like the blues and the greens and the purples, you might be a little underwhelmed by the fact that this is so neutral heavy. However, if you're like a new Urban Decay Naked fan and you're like team neutrals, which I happen to be, you might enjoy this. And I have definitely been enjoying this. I've only had this for a couple days, but I've been wearing it for the past couple days, and I've been getting a lot of play, especially out of the mattes, because, and leave it to me to get excited about like a palette with brown matte eyeshadows, but hear me out. This one has 5 out of the 15 shades are mattes, and which is pretty rare because usually you'll have like 1 or 2 mattes and they'll be like a lame brown, which you're like, okay, whatever, I can use that in the crease in emergency, but you'll have to like pick up additional colors. But this has like at least, 3 or 4 shades of brown, like a beige, and then the black, which is totally useful. It's just things that you can use every day, and I love that. Even with like the lid shades too, there's like, you know, the shimmery beiges. Usually there's like one lame shimmery beige option, which I'll use because I kind of have to highlight or to pop in the lid or in the inner corner. But this one has a variety of different colors that I think are still useful. There's like a rose gold, and like a yellowy gold. And even with like the shade blonde, which is a shimmery beige, it also has a little undercurrent of pink to give it a little kick. So nothing here is, they're neutral, but I don't feel like they're standard neutrals, which is nice. So yeah, what else? I haven't had the chance, by the way, to wear the brights here on the bottom, although I have swatched them on the back of my hand, and they do seem pretty pigmented, which is great, and they're very soft and smooth. The only shadow that I had some trouble with is this shade here, Pop, and that's like the coral one. It's got really chunky pieces. I don't know. It just wasn't my favorite. It kind of ended up all over the place when I put it on my lids the other day, and so when you use this, I suggest going in with a wet brush and then packing it tightly onto the lid and not doing this kind of sweeping motion because it'll end up all over the place. Speaking of that, Urban Decay shadows are famous for having that sort of fallout. And, on one hand, the shadows are super creamy, super buttery, but you do get that fallout, but they're so easy to blend. Oh my goodness. It's like effortless. But on the other hand, there's fallout and you can end up with a mess. So whenever I'm working with Urban Decay, and when I worked with this palette, like today and yesterday, I always have to go back to my mantra, which is eyes first, base second. So do your eyes first, clean up whatever is going to land underneath there, because there will be product. And even if you think that there's nothing there, I swear to God, there have been times where I've put on eyeshadow, Urban Decay eyeshadow, and right after I've done foundation, and then don't think that there's anything really left to clean up, and then I'll look like later on in a mirror and be like, holy crap, there's so much stuff underneath. You won't even notice it until like later. It'll somehow pop up, like it will be there. So do your eyes first, clean up, and then put on your foundation and your bronzer and your blush and all that good stuff, and it'll be all good. So the final word on this, I guess the bottom line for this palette is, if you have a good appreciation for neutrals, I think you'll enjoy this very, very much. So like I mentioned earlier, I'll also have additional pictures and swatches on the blog, so head on over there to check it out, please. And if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, yay! And subscribe if you want, or if you're feeling chatty, leave me a comment in the comments below. Perhaps tell me your favorite No Doubt song or your favorite Gwen Stefani song. I happen to love the Rock Steady album, which I think is from 2000 or 2001, and not because the lead song is called Hella Good, and I'm from the Bay Area and I say hella. It's just one of my favorite albums. I can put it on and I can like listen to it the whole way through, and it just like, I don't know, I really, really like it. And also from her solo work, I have to say Luxurious is one of my favorite songs, just because this is so weird, but I once interviewed the jeweler who provided the jewelry, the Hawaiian bracelets, shout out to Hawaii, in that, whatchamacallit, that video. There's like all these slow-mo shots of like her bracelets, which are gold and they're stacked and they've got the old English writing, and they just remind me of like my husband's family, all the ladies that wear those bracelets. And I interviewed the jeweler, and it was like my one moment where I got to be close to Gwen Stefani. Anyways, long story short, please leave me a comment if you feel like it, and thank you again for watching, and I'll see you again soon. Bye!